Hi friends, if you want to get better no matter what, you're in the right place. Now, I love kata, hyung, forms, pumse, whatever you want to call them. I love training those as much as the next guy. But I want to make sure that my karate training is not a ballistic dance class. I want to make sure that we actually hit stuff sometimes, accustom ourselves to impact, and get used to hitting hard. Sometimes I've heard it said that karate without impact is like swimming without water. Totally agree. Today, we're going to talk about some of my favorite impact training devices, the Tip Top 3. And these count actually as same version, different versions of same number. So you're getting some bonuses. We'll talk about what you need to do to be safe as the holder, to ensure the safety of the striker, and to get the most bang for your buck. So making yourself better as quick as you can and minimizing the things that keep you from improving. Enjoy. Those are nice. Big turn, big turn. The first type of pad I want to look at is a focus mitt, or the equivalent of it, this big old poofy square. When you use these, typically, if it's a focus mitt with an in-hand holding system, your hand will go inside. There will be some kind of Velcro that you wrap around your wrist to secure it, and then you're good to go. Okay? With this one, it has 2 straps on the back, and then a final one up top. I like to put my hands. I like to put my hand through both straps, grab the one at top, and then, depending on the strike, brace it with the other hand, okay? Same would go for the focus mitt. Depending on the strike, I might brace it with my other hand. Anytime that it's likely to pass behind my shoulder this way, I'm definitely gonna brace it. I don't wanna tweak out my own shoulder, and putting it back here with force is equivalent to being put in a shoulder lock. So I don't want that. One more thing to mention, when you're using this type of pad and you are the one holding, you're going to take some impact. Make sure that you don't put the pad in front of your face, because then you're going to hit yourself in the nose. Have it on the side and braced. With all of these, anything you're holding and you're expecting to take some of the shock of impact into your frame, you want to make sure that your stance is going to support that. So if I was receiving impact into the face of the pad, I'd probably make a leaning stance and push my body in toward the force that I was going to be meeting. That really helps me to absorb it into my own structure. I don't get knocked back as much. My partner gets a little more resistance, and everybody's happy. The last thing to think about, and actually this will be true for every method of holding and every surface that you could hold, we want to consider how the person's going to be striking, what tool they'll use. So if they're doing a punch where they have this sort of flat surface, a regular hold here is fine. It matches up great. But if I was asking them to do a normal punch and I slope it down this way, I'm going to encourage them to miss or to scrape, which could cause abrasions on the hand. It might also cause them to roll their wrist. Same thing if I held like this and encourage them to punch forward. So holding the pad is an art in addition to just a device for patience, okay? When you hold, make sure that the tool your partner's using can safely impact on the pad thanks to the angle that you're holding it at. That's about it for the focus mitt version. Everything that holds true for this type will also hold true for this thing, okay? So there's device number 1. Device number 2 actually has a Taekwondo logo on it. It says this is the World Taekwondo Federation Kiki pad thing. When you kick this, you're gonna hold the handle and push this out in front. The back spine is kind of tough. So the idea is to hit the circular part and the logo serves as a target. You're aiming right for the middle of that. But if my partner was striking in, maybe with a round kick, and they were hitting with the instep, the top of the foot or the shin, then holding like this vertically is going to encourage them to wrap their foot around and hit the back. It's not really the best use of it. So I would probably hold it like this, encourage them to come in and place the target surface exactly on the pad. Something else to consider with this type of pad has those two pieces. It's called a clapper pad. So you're looking to cause that loud noise. Hopefully I didn't blow out your ears. You're not wearing headphones or anything. But you're trying to cause that large noise by making these two pads clap together. And that's kind of the purpose of the pad. If you hit in the right way, you'll make that noise. And if you transfer most of your energy onto the spine, you probably won't produce that same noise. So I like this pad because it's good for jumping, spinning kicks. I can hold my arm out and get far away. Holding vertical like this is probably really good when their toes are up and their ankles flexed, like with a crescent kick or an axe kick. I could hold it like this. I could hold it like this. And all of these methods allow me to be relatively far away, and they allow me to collapse at the wrist so that I don't tweak out my shoulder or my elbow. So I really like this device. I think that's about it for this guy. Just make sure, again, that whenever you hold it, you aren't encouraging your partner to hit with toes or with the wrong part of the tool. Okay? And knowing what they're trying to do and what angle you hold it at is going to make all the difference there. All right, last but not least, device number 3, and this is my favorite, a big old kick shield. When you hold the big old kick shields, this might be a little controversial, but they usually come with all these nifty straps. This one on top actually doesn't do anything. I don't know why it's there, but this handle and these two straps could be used to hold it. And I think the idea is that you put an arm through these two straps, and then you use like your other hand and sort of brace this and like put your shoulder into it and do one of these things. But I'm not a fan of that because, and this is especially true for kid students who don't understand exactly how to hold, if I give you the surface of this pad and I'm holding in the way that I just showed you, I'm only supporting this far edge, and even then it's not great. I'd much rather have my shoulder, the mass, my biggest part of the structure that I'm in contact with the pad with, I'd rather have that behind the middle of the pad so that I really actually support it. If you were to kick this pad, it's gonna roll that way. So it's not gonna give you a good sense of the impact. And that's not good for me as the holder either. Much harder to be strong rotationally than it is to be directly braced for something. So here's how I like to do it. And you can tell this has been well loved. You can probably see the dirt on it. Maybe not. I don't know. But it's been well loved. There's dirt on it. So the way I like to hold, and I have my kids do this, I have pretty much anyone do it, and I do it myself. I like to take the bottom corner and the opposite top corner, hold those with my hands, and then you'll see, because of the curve of this particular pad, I press it into my body. I'm giving it a hug. And then whatever comes in and hits the pad is braced against my whole structure and mass. So it simulates hitting something that's pretty big, like a person. It's sort of soft and squishy still, so that you can kick it with the surface and actually penetrate into it. And because I'm holding it against my body, it's not going to come back and hit me. If I was holding it out like this, it's going to come back and hit me. And that might be okay, but I don't really like that. The other benefit of holding this way for you, for your students, for whomever, is they get to really practice taking some impact. It's not going to be very hard because this is going to spread it out, but they can hold, they can brace their own body, and then when their partner starts to strike into the pad, they're actually going to encounter some discomfort and they're going to struggle to take that impact. So it's mental and physical training for the holder as well as for the person working on their impact and their technique. So I especially like to do this with kicks. Kicking this is very different than kicking this or this. You can kick them all. This one's going to be more useful for accuracy. This one, same. Although the power potential is a little bit higher. This one, it's a big surface and you're really looking to hit powerfully. So that's the idea here. Again, the incline of your torso and the curvature of the pad will make a difference when it comes to the angle that you want to present to your partner. So if I was doing front kick with ball of the foot, I'd need my toes to be flexed and lifted up. If I was supposed to be kicking the center of the pad, but the top of the pad goes away this way, it's going to encourage me to hyperextend my toes. It'll really hurt. So the partner might adjust this way and give a more gentle incline up top. Okay? You can also try to flatten out that surface while pressing it against your tummy again. So just think, what's the angle you want your partner to strike with, given the tool that they're using and the technique they're applying? And then you can present that same angle to really benefit them, protect them, and again, at the same time, you're making yourself better. So hopefully that gives you some food for thought. These are my favorite three impact devices